don't forget it. It's this thing called life. Gotta wake up and be grateful for a new day. Gotta be confident, love yourself, don't worry about what they say. It's this thing called.
Hey y'all, what's good, what's good, what's good? Oh, I probably should have did like a little before I did that. Anywho, I hope you guys are doing well and taking care of yourselves and all of that good stuff and whatever and what's not. This is your girl SweetTiff, and I have some downloads for you guys for today. But first, as always, we're going to welcome Spirit in, and then we will get into the messages. All right. Holy Spirit, a pure divine white light of the Most High God, I call you into this message. I ask that you grant me the ability to deliver clear and concise messages to the listener as you see fit. We thank you for all that you are, all that you have been, and all that you will continue to be. Amen. Ashe. Okay, y'all. So, okay, hold on, because what happened to my dang on marker? Girl. That's a mess. Okay, because I'm trying to write my little download that just came in down, and the dry erase marker has magically disappeared. So give me a second, because the fairy's messing with me today. Okay, anywho, moving forward. If you know, you know. The numbers 3, 5, 4, 7, and 15 could be significant. Someone could be 35, someone could be 47, or these could be like, you know, your life path number, or maybe these are angel numbers that you need to look up, like angel number 354 or angel number 715. Also the colors yellow, green, fuchsia, and red could be significant for someone, okay? There's also something significant about like maybe John Deere. Someone could be purchasing some new John Deere equipment, or maybe you're needing to rent some John Deere equipment for a project that you're working on at home. I am also kind of getting like farm related things. So you could possibly have a farm, or this could be something that you aspire to have at one point, or something you're working towards. Someone also could have just recently purchased land, like new land, or you could just already have the land, but now you're finally like, you know, doing certain things, knocking trees down, putting a good garden out there, putting posts and things up to create a space and area for your animals, your fur family people, okay, cows and goats and all that good stuff. But yeah, there's something about that. So that could be significant for someone specifically. All right. Or you could just even be visiting a farm. You could be taking your kids on like a field trip, and that could be where you guys are going. You're going to the farm to teach the kids about, you know, how they milk the cows and how the chickens lay the eggs, and that the, you know, person has to come out and get the eggs and, you know, stuff like that. So you guys could be enjoying some type of field trip like that with your kids. Okay. There's also something about a book. So someone could have recently written a book that talks about farm animals, or you could have just got one, you know, at the library, or just purchased one for your kid. You guys are sitting there learning about farm animals. You could have created that as well. I already said that. Anyway, yeah, but there's something about that. Okay. Moving forward. On a sour note, because to me this is sour. Well, not even sour, but it's sad. So there could be someone that is either close to you and they've experienced this, or this could be very close to you, near and dear to you. Okay, so I immediately want to say, you know, trigger warning. All right, be mindful that what I'm about to speak to could be very it could be triggering for someone. It just could bring up certain feelings that maybe you didn't realize that you're still processing, or just that you're literally still processing, right? But there is some type of situation where someone had like anger issues really bad. And these anger issues led to some type of homicide or possible unaliving of themselves. So, obviously, if you resonate, then you resonate. And by this, like I said, there's multiple different scenarios. It's going to be different for everybody. But there's a couple scenarios I'm getting. One is just that someone really did have some type of mental illness, and you could have tried all different things to work with this individual to just make sure that they're not somewhere where they're being mistreated and whatnot. But maybe the mental issues, they could have gotten too much possibly for someone specifically, and so maybe they sent them somewhere, right, to a facility or even possibly to a foster care, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Your circumstance. And I feel like whatever that was, that impacted the person even more. And so whoever you are, you could be kind of dealing with grieving on a level of feeling kind of guilty. There's an energy there of like, whoever I'm speaking to specifically, and mind you, like I said, this doesn't have to be you. This literally could be like a friend of yours, a loved one that they experienced this, and maybe you're needing to, not needing to, excuse me, maybe experience, wanting you to have this information so that you know how to be more delicate with a certain individual. Maybe God wants you to, or source, Allah, your angels, guardian angels, whatever you resonate with, could possibly just want you to grant someone a little more grace, compassion, show them a little more love. And it's not to say that, obviously you don't go through your own things and you don't also need those things. It's just that whoever this person is, they could be very sensitive, okay? It's a really, really touchy subject for them. It brings up a lot of feelings. They kind of go through a little bit of guilt, even though they kind of know it's not their fault. But at the same time, they just can't help but to feel responsible. This also could be a situation where this is not a direct biological child of someone's. So it could be like you could have been a foster parent and you could have, came across helping raise, I want to say young man, so it could be a young man specifically, but it doesn't have to be. But helping raise someone and working with them the best of your ability when it comes to their mental condition. But maybe, once they did possibly leave your residence, they went on about life themselves. There's also something about emancipation as well. So whether this is your actual child, or like I say, if you were raising someone in foster care for so many years and then they got to an age where they were able to, get emancipated and go out on their own, it's kind of like there's nothing you could have done about that. You get what I'm saying? It's like once a child reaches a certain age, they become an adult, or once they actually become emancipated, which, from what I know, you do have to kind of sign off on that stuff. But, everything's different for different people, right? And it could even been a place where maybe things were under control. You thought things were good, and you were like, what, go ahead, live your life, blah, blah, blah. And unfortunately, I don't feel it was a long period after they left your home, your residence, that this could have taken place. So I think that's where the issue of guilt comes in, because for someone it's like, dang, if they were still home, I could have kind of monitored this, or we could have, you know what I'm saying? And it's a thing of needing to realize that it's really not your fault. Whoever you are, there is something there where Spirit is wanting you to know that you really did do the best that you really could. And sometimes, unfortunately, there are certain energies, entities that, play their part in certain people's brains. And sometimes it's just really, really hard for them to try to fight it. No matter how many resources you have, no matter how much you prayed, sometimes it's just really, really hard for them to combat it, especially if it's like long term, where this person really was putting up a fight within their, natural state of being, to fight against that entity within their brain, to, continuously come back to themselves and say, okay, I'm okay, but then be attacked again from this entity in their mental space. You know what I'm saying? So, I just send all my love to anyone who is having to deal with someone who has any type of mental condition, because I am kind of hearing like schizophrenia and a few other different labels. However, it's going to be different for everybody, but it's definitely not something easy to process. And for me personally, because I know a lot of times people hate to kind of hear things from people who, if you've never experienced it, it's kind of one of those like, you don't really know. You know what I'm saying? And this is coming from someone who I have not had to deal with someone who has harmed themselves, at least closely, right, in that level. However, I have had experience with someone who has schizophrenia, and this person is, I don't want to necessarily say they're very close to me. At one point in time in life they were, because this is actually a parent of my child. Okay, so I'm just familiar, and I process that. It's just a process in itself to even gather the fact that someone's not mentally well. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, for something devastating to take place like that for you is I can't even imagine, and I don't want to, and I don't want to try to act like I do, But I do want you to know that I do resonate to a certain extent, and I do send you my love, and you're going to be okay. It is not your fault. So just do the best you can with grasping that, and just make sure you continue to reach out to loved ones and support groups. Because for some of you guys, you might need to go find a support group, and that's okay. Because actually within the support group, I have a big feeling that you may connect with someone or some people who could end up being long-term like soulmates, whether this is an actual like relationship or just platonic friendships where you guys will, grow together and live on, and you'll celebrate one another's, loved ones' birthdays, and, have those moments of grief so you can heal, and things like that, But so, okay, there's that, right? So we're gonna move forward. But I send you my love, okay? So now, you'll be finally getting some type of resolve with something. Like something could be finally like finalizing, or even if this is some type of dispute, because I am kind of getting like more on a business level, or maybe even a purchase you made. You could have made a purchase, maybe something wasn't what you thought it was, or when you got it, it just was not, something was wrong, there was a defect, it didn't match the description, they sent you the wrong thing, whatever, okay? Something wasn't actually delivered, and you may have had to dispute something. There's also even could be, if you're a business owner, you could have people that have disputed products of yours, okay? So yeah, there's something about it getting resolved though, because I feel like for the business owner scenario, I feel like this is someone who they paid for something, they got it, and they just trying to get over and get their money back. That's the energy that I'm getting with that, right? So it's something about, you probably submitted your appeal or whatever, and you're finally going to get the email or whatever saying, hey, this has been resolved. We see that, they received the order, blah, blah, blah. You now get your payment or whatever. Like, cause I don't know how that works, but I can only imagine like they probably try to pull the money back from you. So they might be having to pay you back, right? Anywho, so, and then actually this might tie into that a little bit, but I don't know. So there could be something dealing with Venmo, PayPal, or even possibly like a gift card, even possibly a virtual gift card. But you could be getting some type of deposit or return. So like I said, that could tie into the last thing I spoke to. Some type of deposit or return here soon, via one of these channels. It's also gonna be something where like it comes in through one of those, and then you just like transferred to your bank account or whatever. Okay. There's also something about somebody wanting to gift you something, so that could also tie into that what I just spoke to. Okay, so somebody could be sending you, honey, some Cash App or something, just randomly, like, oh shoot, okay, or just whatever. Okay, it also could be a settlement, because I spoke about that in another message not long ago. And then what's so funny is a recent settlement just happened for those who submitted their claims. I think the claims were submitted back in 2023, so it's been a minute. But finally, everything has been, resolved. Using that word again. So getting a resolve. And the payments from the settlement are finally going out. So you could be someone who just received that, right? Let's see. And then someone's name could be Penelope, or there could be something significant about, because isn't Penelope like one of the princess? No, I don't know. Whatever significance Penelope has to you. And also Pepper Ran. Okay, I don't know what generation y'all from or whatever and whatnot that is listening to this, but if you know Pepper Ran, then you know Pepper Ran. Okay, but there could be something significant about Pepper Ran as well. And then lastly, this could be someone's friend, family member, or associate. This person could be someone that, you've shared certain things with, so, they kind of know what's going on with you and whatnot. And as far as your relationship goes with someone, and this person could be seeing themselves through you. But even though they're seeing themselves through you, they don't acknowledge that they're seeing themselves through you, and they're judging your circumstance. And by this, I mean, say you're going through some type of something. Like maybe you could be someone who you're in some type of relationship where you keep trying with someone. They keep doing, whatever that you don't like, that makes you guys argue regularly, or that doesn't make you feel appreciated, or that just puts a strain on your connections. And that could be so many things. So I'm not even gonna try to give out examples, y'all, because let's be real, it's gonna be different for everybody, right? But the crazy part about it is this person literally deals with the exact same thing. It just might be in a different form, so for them they don't see it the same. But yeah, I don't know, there's just something about someone being a mirror basically at this time, and instead of them judging you, there's a need for them to actually, or judging them, whatever, there's a need to actually like stop for a moment and really process what the divine is trying to guide you to see, because it's something about like this person like knows that like there's just this energy where there's this good terms and bad terms. There's an energy where it's like things could be really good for a little minute, so the really good just makes somebody really like, yes, this is what I really want, I'm happy, but then there's something where it's like the bad is just like terrible, and it really kind of outweighs the good. But this person wants the good to outweigh the bad so much that they're basically lying to themselves continuously. There's something about where there's some type of disrespect in some way. I'm more so getting it's like how this person talks to you or them or whatever. So you have to take the dynamic as it is, and obviously let me throw out my disclaimers because I did not, and I've literally ran through pretty much the whole message. But if it is yours, receive it to be full. So if it does not flow, let it go. Bits and pieces of this message could apply to you, if not the full message. And you can also go check out some of the other videos on the channel, as they may resonate with you as well. And don't forget to do all that fun clicky stuff like hitting the like button, so that I know that you did resonate with this. You could also leave me a comment down below so I know more specifically how you resonate with this, and hitting the subscribe button if you have not already, so that the videos can be come across your timeline as they are uploaded. Okay, but it's just like,
don't forget it. It's this thing called life. Gotta wake up up and be grateful for a new day. Gotta be confident, love yourself, don't worry about what they say. It's this thing called